some of my experience with this issue. There is a lot of ways to mandate vaccinations. One of the problems we're having locally is people having to get vaccinated in order to keep employment. I myself was involved in the food shipping industry, and I was actually fired because I refused to take a Hep A vaccination shot. And it was under no uncertain terms that I was told that. The moving company was West Island, and we were enforcing the hazard analysis critical control points called HACCP. When I was working for the Island West manufacturers, I was given an orientation movie that I actually was shown as a prerequisite to getting involved in the industry. And they showed in this very absolutely deliberate orientation that the HAPPC was developed by Codex Alimentarius, which is a branch of the United Nations, and that in order to keep yourself employed, you had to comply with all the prerequisites in that organization. And I was dismissed. I'm going to have to fight this, but I was dismissed because I wouldn't take a vaccination. Okay, now you could argue that I have the right to not be employed there, but when they are allowed to limit your options of employment, whether it's medical or whether it's shipping, okay, they are in effect mandating vaccination. So we need to create some pushback, okay? And with the medical profession, I mean, if you want to get vaccinated, that's one thing. If you think you want to be informed about vaccines, that's another. But to allow people to limit the public's options, if they don't choose to get vaccinated, demands some pushback. So I just wanted to point that out and make sure that we're aware and get involved in these things. You know, when we hear the medical professionals being forced into this, I think it warrants pushback. Thank you. Indeed, and if a person is supposed to be, chooses to be vaccinated, that's their prerogative. But if you're vaccinated and you think it's going to give you immunity, why would you feel that you're threatened from somebody else deciding not to get a vaccine? I mean, it's a matter of choice, right? I mean, if everybody wants to get vaccinated, that's fine, but to insist that anyone does, it just doesn't make any logical sense.
Yeah, this is very topical because it's really, as much as we think it should be a matter of personal choice, some of us, we have a situation in this province where health workers are being told that either they're going to vaccinate or they will have to wear masks.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Front page of the Victoria Daily News today for the health workers being told to get vaccinated or have to wear masks.
Right, and this is very insidious. You know, it's like they're suggesting that you don't have to work as a healthcare worker if you don't want to, but you're allowing people to deprive people of employment or get a vaccine. If that's not compulsory or a mandate, I don't know what would be. So we need to pay attention to this.
But I did want to just Josh further to the film. Try to connect the dots on some of these things, and it seems to me, for me, as I was thinking, watching the documentary, I was thinking, in some ways, in many ways, this is a story of corporatism, and I look for parallels. And as much as we have the military-industrial complex, I think we also have a industrial complex.
Yeah.
As we have a prison industrial complex, I just got to finish this one thought. And I think for us as Canadians, our politicians, through their wisdom or otherwise, have got us into these relationships internationally that have subsumed our sovereignty or our decision-making capacity within our own country to free trade agreements. And in these industrial agreements that do have a direct impact upon us because we have to, our policymakers are advocating for us to also line up and get these shots. So I would just, America has 5% of the world's population. They've got 25% of the world's prison population. So it is really driven by that profit model, as is, and this is where the parallel comes in, I believe, this vaccine model is all about shots in arms, as much as schools are about bums in seats, as much as a prison is about people in cells. So it really does beg the question, should there be sectors of our economy, of our society, that are run primarily, or at all, or entirely by the private sector? Or it should be something that should be hived off and conducted exclusively by we the people?
Yeah. Well, like I said, this was mandated by the Codex Alimentarius as an